So these two are book matched from a crepe myrtle burl or knot or whatever you call it. I'll show you a picture of that as it is on the tree. These things can grow huge, and I had one that was about twice the size of this. And you know, it's what looks interesting when you splice it in half. It's very interesting. Crepe myrtle, so it's very interesting wood when it's milled. And these things were huge. Here's this one too. And they're loaded with these little knots all over because the tree, as you'll see in one of these images, just spurts out these knots. So what I'll need to do is like sand this a little bit flatter. It's kind of irregular. This was like the first stage in milling something up. This has to be cut flat as well as this one. But the most important thing is when they are opposite of each other, which is basically they'll be opposite like that this matches. So that's what I need to find out. And it doesn't match. They're definitely irregular. And it's this edge that's most important because that will be the roof. I don't know if you can see, but they don't match very well. This one's, you know, it's dropping down more. Even if I line up one side, which isn't a bad idea, and I just line up the other side, that being this side. And you can see, in order to get these things secured, I did this first. I matched these things. I put these boards on there to keep them together. And then I made a mold, and I poured the mold. So I have to, what I think I'm going to do is put them together face to face and put double-sided tape in there to hold these two together, and then mill them down. Yeah, cut this off at the same, so they're at the same height, and then this is the same. So why am I doing that? Because when I get the roof on here, I want the roof to sit flush, you know, straight across, like, and that won't happen with them being irregular like this. So I think the best way to do it is to, you do it that way, well, that's not going to work. Anyway, I got to figure out a way to mill these down into shape. Okay, this is double-sided tape. I think I got it on Amazon. It's just fastened. It's double-sided. So I'm going to use this to hopefully secure these two pieces face to face together. This one and this one. And kind of sort of line them up at the top as best I can. Focusing on this corner edge. Okay. Now when I run it through, okay, it didn't work at all. All right, that didn't work. So I can pitch that idea. It's really sticky stuff, but it just It probably, there's too much unevenness. This one's pretty even. A little bit high there, but this one's way off. This sticks out further than this. So anyway, the idea is the light will come through here and through here. And I think what I'm going to put in here would be like a Edison bulb, because you'll be able to see it, and you know, it should be pretty cool. Anyway, I've got to figure out a different way. I mean, maybe I just kind of line those up like that. Or use this, because this is what I'm going for. This is kind of a right angle. Cut it. I'm not really good with math. I mean, I understand I need angles, but understanding how to get there and all that other stuff, not so much. I know that there's people that are absolutely brilliant at this, but I'm not one of them. But if I take this is what I'm looking for. Perfect right angle. And I'm only doing this so these two pieces match. So when I put the roof on, it lays flat and not all wonky. So I think what I'm going to do is try to level out one side. Like, I'll take this over to my oscillating sander. It's a belt sander that goes up and down. It's an oscillating sander. And I will level one side. And I will do the same thing probably on this side. And then put once you get that done, put this up to it. Then I'll know exactly where that cut needs to be, which I'll take over to the bandsaw and cut. But first I'm going to level this off. Cut these bottoms off on both of these so they're flat. And if I do this sort of kind of like that, you know, maybe I'll do the top first. I think the top is more important. So I made these into right angles. So now they're lined up. So I could make this into a really cool lamp birdhouse. I gotta cut these bottoms off. But I was thinking this might be cool as a lamp. A different kind of lamp. I just use these for birdhouses because they're just cool in and of themselves. So what I thought about doing is I have some glass, putting like maybe a seated glass on the four sides and just leave it an open top. Or maybe making a frame of it, frame all the way and then posts coming up and then glass in that. That might be cool too. It'd be more functional, I think, as a lamp. It's a very beefy bottom. I think I designed it. I think I said earlier I designed it as like a tall lamp. I think it's more suitable for that than this birdhouse idea. So I think I'm going to rethink that whole process and make a different lamp out of it. It's about 8 1/4. It's not exactly perfect, but good enough. 8 1/4 all the way. 8 1/4, 8 1/4, 8 1/4, 8 1/4, and I can get glass to fit that. I'm not sure how I'll do that, but anyway, that's to be seen. So I think I might do that with this. So I gotta get posts, but I gotta get glass and see the size of the glass that I have and work around that. In the meantime, I can make birdhouses out of these. And those will be really cool. This is an example of a crepe myrtle face birdhouse that I made in the past. Sorry the resolution isn't very good. I looked all over for the original and couldn't find it, but this is a good example of a birdhouse with the crepe myrtle face. So with that in mind, what do you think I should make? A birdhouse separate from a lamp? Or the lamp birdhouse? Let me know. Thanks for your input. Please subscribe, share, and like. It helps me out immensely. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.